Hi, welcome to Hedgehog Hollow. Today I'm showing you how to create this gorgeous card with Little Darlings rubber stamps, and I'm going to be showing you how to heat emboss your dry embossing. Plus we're going to be using heat embossing to create this gorgeous 3D sentiment. So let's get started.
So today we're making a beautiful card using the Little Darlings rubber stamps Quilted Dragonfly embossing folder. It actually comes with a set of 2 embossing folders. You get the Quilted Dragonflies all over, or you have this one with the central panel, which is the one that I'm using over here. So we're going to be using heat embossing technique, something really fun. So you want to take your deactivator all over. For some reason my little powder tool has walked off, so I'm using this one. And then what we're going to do is take an embossing ink. So I'm using the Nuvo clear mark pad, which I really do like, and you just want to very gently drag it across the surface. Really, really gently, because you just want to touch those areas. You don't want it all over. And I'm just going to do it a couple of times in different places. And then we're going to take our little tray, or you could take a piece of printer paper, and I'm going to be using the purple haze. This is a gorgeous purple colour, and we're going to start putting that all over. And what you can see is it just picks out some of those areas. I'm going to give it a good flick on the back side as well, just because I really want it to look distressed. I'm going to do it over here too. And again, I'm going to give that a nice flick just to take off the excess. And what you can see is it gives you this distressed look with your embossing powder. So I'm going to heat set this using my Wagner heat tool. And then this is a really quick and easy card, great to make in multiples, because you could do it like a production line. You could definitely do many of these at once, and you get lots of this powder in here. I mean, I've used this purple haze a lot. It's one of my favourite colours from Nuvo, but it's still very fun. All the gorgeous gems they put on the top of their things as well. So we're now going to heat this up. I'm also going to give a little bit more of a flick just on this side. I want it a little bit lighter. So you can see there how it's lightened up. And now we're going to heat set it. I'm working on the Holtz mat. I can apply as much heat as I want to this surface, and it's really easy to clean up. I keep a packet of baby wipes and an old washcloth just to the side of me, and then it's really easy to wipe down. If you want to polish it up, Windex is amazing. It also takes off alcohol inks and all sorts of things, so it's a really nice and easy thing to clear off. So we've done all of that. Our heat embossing is now set. If I lift this up, you can see there's some really nice distressed look to that. The next thing we want to do is make our sentiment. So here I have Smile. I've also cut one out of foam, which we're going to add to it in a moment to add some extra dimension. But we want to take that clear mark pad and we want to put it all over our Smile. Make sure you do it on the top side, so it's the side that is showing. And I'm going to pop the lid back on. Again, I'm going to grab that tiny tray. I'm just going to give it a little wipe out. There was some bits stuck to it. And I'm going to be using, now there's 2 really nice golds in the Nuvo embossing powder range. This one is called Classic Gold and this other one is called Enchantment Gold. This one has a bit more sparkle, which is the one I'm using today. But there's some awesome colours. There's blues, there's pinks, every colour you could possibly imagine. And you get so much in here too. So I'm using a pair of tweezers to try and pick up my Smile. I'm going to lay that back on my surface. And now I'm going to use, I've got my long nose tweezers here, and I'm just popping them inside this loop of the flower. And that means that I can heat this up. So be careful not to burn your fingers. Having that in that loop is perfect. And also don't touch it straight away. It's molten, it's going to be incredibly hot. But you can just apply this directly on the surface, which is wonderful. I'm just going to lift this up just for a second and give it a wipe underneath, just because I don't want any of that gold powder on my embossing mark pad here. So again, I'm going to put another layer down. Now, you could do 2 layers. I normally find 3 is around about the perfect amount. depends how even you want your embossing to be, but if you go around that 3 mark, I think you'll find you have a nice surface on there. The first one is a little bit bubbly, it may not be as even, but as you build those layers up, they do melt into each other to give you a nice even finish. Down, I attached my purple panel onto a piece of the purple Lawn Fawn cardstock. Also made my card base ready, so let's adhere that on. You want to make sure that your smile is nice and cool before you start working with it, because it can be really hot. And also if you touch it while it's slightly soft, you will find you get some dents in it too. So I just like to leave it for a minute or two, and that seems to work well. So I'm just trimming this down to put a piece on here. Like this. And I'm just going all the way around with my foam tape. This is just the same big roll of tape I always use, and this one has lasted me a long time. Any extras I pop on the side like this, works really well too. And then we can stick this onto our card base. It's an A2 card base, so 8.5 by 11. Cut in half lengthways. You could of course cut it in half widthways as well. That would work fine. But I have mine cut down by the FedEx store, and I just find that that is nice and easy. So I'm going to stick this on here. Dragonflies facing the right way, so they're flying up the card rather than anything else. And let's now adhere our smile. So I cut this piece of foam. It was so easy to cut. A little bit of extra weeding just in there, but with those long nose tweezers, it was really simple to use. So I am going to turn this over. This little thing here has Nuvo Deluxe glue in it, and it just means that I get a super fine amount. So I'm just outlining my smile, and it has a little cap that goes on there that keeps it nice and sealed, so you don't ever have to put pins and things in it, or I haven't had to yet at all. I mean, I probably use mine every other day or so, just when I'm doing words like this. It's nice to be able to get those fine pieces, and this doesn't squelch out the side. Sometimes I even put it in a syringe if it's really, really fine. I have some of those over there too. I like to keep some tools for fine work. The Nuvo Deluxe Adhesive is one of my favourites. I also use the Collage medium from Ranger from Tim Holtz. That works really well too, but Nuvo is definitely one of my favourites. So I am going to now stick this on the top. Of course, having come out the same die, is going to be the perfect size. Now you could also outline this with a gold pen if you wanted to, but I like how you kind of almost get that shadow effect with the white. So I'm just sticking that on all the way along. Just give it a press down for a second. It does dry pretty quickly. You would be surprised how quickly it'll be ready to go for you. So once you've done that, you've got just that little bit of extra dimension, and we're ready to put it on our card. So we could either put it on this way, or you could put it on this way. And actually, I really like how that goes. I'm also going to put it on a little bit of an angle, and I think that'd be a really nice card to send to someone. If you were sending it through mail and you didn't want that extra dimension on there, you could just omit the foam part and put it straight on. Again, using this same medium. I'm going to use the same thing on my foam. And so I'm just outlining the smile. And it's so thin, I don't think you can even see on the camera angle how thin this really is. But I'll pop this little applicator in the description for you in the supply list. I always list things in the order they're used in the video as well, so they're easy for you to find. Plus, of course, there's a coordinating blog post that has them all as pictures. So if you want to have a look and just make sure you're getting the right thing, then check out the blog post. Again, that's linked in the video description for you. And you can see the pictures of the full supply list. Plus, we post all the photos that you see in the video so that you can pin those or share or save for future reference. I'm just going around little bits of these petals as well. And now we can stick this down. So again, I'm going to just put it a little bit on an angle like this. And I think that looks really nice. like so. And then the other thing I'm going to do is add some finishing touches. So I'm going to be using some beads. I bought this pack of pearls on Amazon, 15 colours, and they're really inexpensive to buy them this way. Sometimes they can be a little bit pricey. I haven't even opened these ones up yet, so somewhere on here there's a tape seal, because I can feel the resistance of it. There it is. But I have opened some of the larger sizes. I bought a variety. These are the medium size. Again, of course, I will link everything up for you. Just finding the tape on the other side too. And little snips in there. So they're all in these beautiful colours, and I'm going to use these purple ones down here. So I'm just going to pick out a few and pop them straight on my mat. I'm going to grab my little tweezers as well. And I'm going to put a couple of dots of glue where I want them to go. Let's put those down first. So we have, you could use your fingers on these. This is the other thing about using this really fine glue tip, is you can put the dots of glue down, and if you find it easier, you can just pop them down with your fingers. I'm really looking forward. Little Darlings are going to be having their own embossing powder range and ink range of hybrid inks, which are some of my favourite inks to use. If you watch Hedgehog Hollow regularly, you'll see those come up very often, but that just adds that little finishing touch on there as well. Thanks so much for joining me here today with Hedgehog Hollow and Little Darlings rubber stamps. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and the techniques we had as well, and we'd really appreciate it if you hit those subscribe buttons. There's one there for Hedgehog Hollow and for Little Darlings as well. Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to check out those video descriptions, and I'll see you again very soon. Happy stamping, bye!